Hello. Welcome to a last minute live stream. It's Monday night. It's not E-Models, you may have guessed there's no E-Models show tonight. It's bank holiday, day off. We all have a day off. Some of us are doing things. I'm doing this, obviously. Welcome, one and all. It is a bit of a one-off. Hello, Dave came in, and obviously there's his guys about. There we go. Dave's gone already. I've not even started the show. Dave's in, Dave's out. Hi, Dave. Bye, Dave. Yes, it's Monday night. There's no E-Models show, and I received a gift on Sunday's live show. So tonight I am working on dinosaurs. Nothing is better than dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are the best thing that there is. Nothing is better than dinosaurs. Don't even try and convince me otherwise. Yes, Paul, very kindly, Paul from Team Inept, who is there, who says pounce and flounce. Well, Chris says flounce. He sent me this on Sunday. I arrived on Sunday. I've got a little pack of Mesozoic Creatures. I don't know why they say Mesozoic creatures. Why don't they just put dinosaurs in big letters on there? Flipping dinosaurs. I nearly said it's a rude word then. Flipping dinosaurs. That's all you need. Flipping dinosaurs. Yeah. And these are 1/35th scale, so they are in scale with Tamiya's military miniatures. So if you wanted to perhaps put some, I don't know, World War II American GIs on the back of the Parasaurolophus, or a couple of sort of Wehrmacht on the back of the infant Tyrannosaur, that would be funny. And I may well, not obviously in this live stream, but I may well take time out at some point to maybe scratch build some equipment to put on these and go all kind of like dinosaurs with lasers and use some Warhammer bits and bobs, and I might do that. But tonight what we're going to do is just get some of these built. For now, because obviously I've got a lot on the plate at the moment, I'm just going to get these things built, and then we'll come back to painting them and other stuff later on. Yes, so we are doing this today. So there we go. We've only got a couple of little sprues. Probably get all of these done tonight, I would suspect. I'm looking forward to this. It's dinosaurs. What do we have? We have in the dinosaur box. Oh, before we get going, as always, it's one of my normal streams, so I've got the chat here in front of me, just in front of me here. I do count on you guys to give me stuff to talk about, so please feel free to join in the chat. If you're watching this, you can see the not live chat here. This is just here so people who are seeing the chat can at least see what you're saying in chat. So if I respond to someone who says something in chat, they can see what I'm talking about. If I just say, yes, Bob, that's really funny, and there's no chat there for people to look at, they don't know what I'm responding to. So you can see that there. But if you want to join in the live chat, and I do recommend you do join in. Just make sure you type in capital letters so I can see your comment if you want to get my attention. Or if you really want to get my attention, you can do a super chat, which is the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. That puts your comment in a coloured box, and I can't miss it. I've no way I can miss your comment, 'cause it's right there in front of me. And it's a big coloured box. As always, though, quick shout-outs to the people that make these streams possible. My patrons at patreon.com/modelmakingguru. They support me, they pay my wages, they keep the food on my table, they keep these lights on. Massive thank you to all my patrons. If you want to become a patron, do check it out. You're more than welcome to. Also to emodels.co.uk and goblingaming.co.uk, my two corporate sponsors and supporters. Links for both of those in the description below. E-Models for your traditional model making stuff. This kit is available on the E-Models web store right now at this exact moment. There is a link in the description below this video for this specific kit if you want to get some dinosaur goodness. This is Diorama series number 7 in their 1/35th scale dinosaur series. Yes, and Goblin Gaming, which is your tabletop model making supplier, tabletop gaming and models and stuff like that. 20% off Games Workshop, Malifaux and Conflict 47, and massive savings on your other tabletop gaming and modelling needs. So go and check both of those out. They're awesome and they keep this channel alive. Now, let's see what we've got. So we have, I was looking into this. This kit is, now there is a point of contention here. It's an old kit. It's 1994. I've been in the world of work for 4 years when this kit came out. I've been a working man for 4 years. Came out in 1994, and I need to point out the complete lack of having the lid. Hang on. The complete lack of any feather type scenario on the T-Rex. I don't know whether there were feathers on the other ones, but yeah, you need to update your shizzle, Tamiya. Not having feathers on the Raptors. It's not cool. I don't know how Jurassic Park keeps getting away with it. I don't know why they keep making Jurassic Park films. They're terrible, but I don't know how they get away with not having feathers on the Raptors. It's just wrong. We know they had feathers now. But what do we get? We get an infant Parasaurolophus, which is the duck-billed herbivore. We get an oviraptor, which is named the oviraptor because apparently they think it might used to sort of steal eggs from nests. We have the Hypsilophodon, which is another little herbivore. He's got a little beak-like face. The infant Tyrannosaurus. We have, Cynical Steve. Thank you very much. Cynical Steve puts a little £10 super chat and says, just because. And you can see there what a super chat looks like. It's that big coloured box. I have no way to miss super chats. If you really want to get my attention, feel free. Also, it does help support this channel. Yeah, infant Tyrannosaurus, which somehow they've made look not particularly scary. I don't quite know how. It's not looking scary. They've got a crocodilia, a crocodile, because crocodiles were around at the time. That's a bit of a cop-out. When you buy a box of dinosaurs, you don't really want a crocodile. It's not. Yeah, it's not. I know. It's technically, it's you know what I mean. It's not. And then of course we get an Archaeopteryx, because this is the Mesozoic, when flighted dinosaurs with feathers and things were starting to become the norm. So we know they exist, but yeah, they should have feathers. Tamiya, you need to reissue your T-Rexes. You really need to do that. Nobody makes models of feathered dinosaurs, I don't know. And it does have little facts for each of them, so as we build each one, we shall have the little facts read out. I shall very, very quickly read through the chat, see who's in. I haven't got everybody from right from the start, but we start off with Chronoman, Chris at Gross Models, and Dad. Those two are two of your mods. Dad, Chris at Gross Models, and Paul at Team Inept are in. I think some of the other mods we'll find out as we go through. Your mods are lovely, fluffy little forest creatures, like marble foxes. Lovely little cute things, and they'll look after you and keep you safe. But if you cross them, they'll burn you alive, so don't cross the mods. Model Maker Mayhem, we have Cynical Steve, The Raging Modeler, lots of new YouTube channels popping up here. We have Athel McNichol, we have Eric Graham. Who else has come in? Dexterous Crafter, hey Nat. I think we've got Lewis popped in as well later. Well, I don't know, actually, if we have, we'll find out. I could just wait and go through the chat and find out, rather than just guess. Because there's a whole list here of people. We have Graham McRobertson. Welcome, Graham. Robert Taylor. Hello all. Welcome, Robert. Phil Lewis. Evening, Phil. My friend. Eric Graham. Robert Taylor. Phil Lewis. Cynical Steve. Teeks is in. TK from TK's Model Making. Welcome, Teeks. Another one of your mods. TK. Hello. That's another super chat. I'll get to that in a minute. Who was that? I've come down. I'm scrolling down the chat. I'll get to that in a minute. Thank you, whoever that was. I'll get to you in a second. Yes, TK was TK's Model Making is his name, but we all called him Teeks, so he's just changed his name to Teeks because it's easier to write. Ian Thompson's in. Welcome, Ian. We have Ray Aquilina is in from Malta. Hey, Ray. Hope you're having a good time in Malta. Hope the weather is good for you, my friend. You can't see it, but all the time I do on my little on my Hobby Zone boxes right here is my little patch that you sent me, a little Malta patch. It's there. It's always on the side, always in front of me. Zadster is in. Welcome, Zadster. EC Idaho. Welcome, EC Idaho. Ilket is in. Dave Barker popped in and was thrown out because he signed in with the wrong damn account. Weebadoodles. Hey, Weebadoodles. Not seen you for a while. Ickle Pete. Evening all. I think I'm getting some of the E-Models crowd as well. Scott Sutherland's in. Welcome, Scott. Our good friend Scott from the Orkney. Weebadoodles. Oh, those are painfully old dinosaurs. It's only 1994. They're only 30 years old. They're a bit out of date, but... Team Inept says, I am so kind. Praise me one and all. That says, dinosaurs need lasers. Dinosaurs versus panthers. One of those dinosaurs driving a 135th tank. Put it in the top of a tank and have a caption that says, I don't belong in a tank. And then underneath it says, actually I do, because it's seriously cool. It's a killer whale joke. Never mind. Model Making Mayhem. It says, oh, sake, I subscribed live just for him and he missed it. I don't always get notifications of subscriptions, unfortunately. That's the way YouTube works. Fun, but not chronically correct, says Ian Thompson. Das ist Ace Rimmer, was ein Guy, says Team Inept. Why are we talking about Ace Rimmer? I've lost that now. I think I missed something. Dino Rider style, yes. One of my last jobs, my last call centre job, I found a dino. I didn't know what Dino Riders were, but I found the artwork of all these dinosaurs with lasers, and it was the coolest thing ever. So my official computer workstation wallpaper in this, very serious telecoms office was dinosaurs with lasers. Everybody, all the management hated me. They really hated me because I was the only one in the office that was. I was working in an office where most people weren't clever enough to know how to. Hello, I've had a thing. Dad super chatted. I'll come to that in a second. Thank you. Skullfish is in. Skullfish. Donald McKenzie. Hi guys. I'll come back to my story in a minute. Scott Sutherland. Chris at Gross Models. Ray Aquilina. Team Inept. Paul. That's one of my mods. We have Quanoman says £5. Tell that T-Rex on the box to stop grinning at me like dinner. Yes, they've managed to make the T-Rex. It's kind of going ding dong. Oh, I say ding dong. Yeah, it's not really scary, is it? They've managed to not make T-Rex. I mean, it's only a juvenile, so. And also we had Dad pop £5 saying, because what? Dinos! Thank you to both of you. You're very, very kind. Cynical Steve says, a bloke in work thinks that the government put dinosaurs' bones in the ground to trick us because they aren't mentioned in the Bible, and yes, he is a nutter. Yeah, pretty much. Mesozoic covers the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous, says Weebadoodles. Yes. I don't know why they didn't just call it holy crap, it's dinosaurs. That would have been much better. I'm torn between finishing chipping my Zaku or building my perfect grade Gundam while watching. Yes. And Weebadoodle says, so this is basically the entire span of dinosaur time. Pretty much. Right, let's quickly catch up. Anybody else has come in? If I've missed you, I do apologise. I'm whizzing through quickly because I want to get cracking. Dave at Butcher That Model finally logged in the correct account. Welcome, Dave. Rare Quillian says, yes, it's very nice and hot. And Teeks asks, is there a chocolate Velociraptor? Not in this box. It will be very small because they're 1/35th, so the Velociraptor would be... That's a very big crocodile if it's 1/35th scale. Thinking about it, that is, I didn't realise crocodiles were quite that big, but hey. Right, now I think what we're going to do, we're going to start with the Parasaurolophus because, and I hope I'm saying that right, Parasaurolophus, because it's the second one on the instructions, so we're going to start with that. The Parasaurolophus, that's right, Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus. Papaloponoponus mispidus. Papadopoloponus. It's the Vangelis dinosaur. His surname's Papathanasio. I know, it doesn't really work. There's a joke that worked in my brain and then didn't work when I said it out loud. Perimasonsaurus, that'll do. It's the Perimasonsaurus. It's the second one, but it's the biggest one in the pack, so we're going to build that one first. Plus, it's got a kind of smiley face. It's got, I hate to say this, I'm going to zoom in if I can. It might not let me zoom in, but let's have a go. I'm going to regret this horrendously. Let's see if I'll have to change that. I don't want to change the focus, but it kind of has a bit of a Jar Jar mouth going on. It's a bit, Misa, dinosaur face, yeah. No. Thankfully, Jar Jar impression is one of the impressions I'm not very good at, so I'm not going to do it again. Yes, so I'll do the Parasaurolophus first because it is the biggest one. Let's go through the complicated instructions. Now, unfortunately, they have given us split seam lines or split hulls. They are split hulls, these dinosaurs. They've got big seam lines right down the middle, so I think there'll be a bit of building and sprue gluing tonight, and that'll be about it. Yeah. There's the one part of the hull, and the other part of the hull, of course, is there. We need A4 and A15. There's A15, one of the first landing gears. We have A4, which is the one. Where's A4? A4. They're going a bit Games Workshop with their weird parts in strange places on the sprue here. Tamiya, what are you doing? We need A13 and A14. A13 and A... No. Got a bit of a camp pose in its arm. Oh, bit doing that. Oh, yes. Very nice Parasaurolophus. Very, very nice Parasaurolophus. Right, so that's them. That's all the part. Oh no, we need the base as well. Do we get a base? Base! Wait, we don't get a base for the Parasaurolophus. We get a base for everything else. That's a bit rum. Just because it's a herbivore doesn't mean... How rum is that? I'll have to dig out a spare Games Workshop base. I don't get a base for the Parasaurolophus. I don't know. Now, before we get going... Oh, size in, Cy Reynolds. Do you plan to make a top hat for the T-Rex? This could be possible. I am going to probably do some little bits of... When I get time, you know, in weeks to come, I might do some little scratch-buildy Warhammer stuff on some of these. Put some weapons on them. And now, we've time to learn a fact, children. It's time for a dinosaur fact before we get building. It says here, the Parasaurolophus raised their young in nests and lived in large herds, with the adults protecting their young from predators. That's the most generic herbivore dinosaur fact I can think of. It's like saying, this dinosaur lived in a place and things and ate the things. Next. Yeah, that was like a Friday afternoon fact-finding mission, that was. Wow, I didn't know you could read Japanese. Absolutely I can. Like a native. Right, so we'll get these little nubulations off. I need to put my space helmet on. There it is. There. Do I need to zoom in? I might as well zoom in a little bit because I'm a bit far away, aren't I? A bit better for you. Let me know if the quality... How's the image and audio, by the way? Hopefully it's all good. My beverage is in the way of the glue. Let me move my beverage. It's water tonight, not coffee. Because I've had lots of coffee today. And it's really warm. Don't really want to be drinking hot coffee now. Do you think he saw us? Says Cynical Steve. Yes, that's an old joke. So we'll get these nubulations removed. Nubulation. There we go. Oh, gouged it a little bit. Never mind, it's flesh. It'll sand out. A bit carried away there. Yeah, there we go. Now these could be good fun to paint because they are all gnarly in texture, but they are quite small. So, like, when I get round to doing my big shouty spec horse, my Games Workshop Age of Sigmar Star Drake, that's got loads of chunky detail. But these are quite small, so. I don't know how well they'll take to dry brushing, you see. Oops. Bits trimmed down. Weebadoodle says they've done simulations of how air would move through the crest of a Parasaurolophus and put up reconstructions of what they might have sounded like. It's really neat to listen to. I'm going to guess it's like a kind of honky horn sound, as is to be expected. I don't know what the sound would be. In my mind, the Parasaurolophus is going, we're going to play a good game. It's called Who is Your Father and What Does He Do? That's Parasaurolophus for me, mate. It's not a tumour. It's not a tumour. Oh, left a nub on there. Oh. T-Rex is made of polymetal alloys. He'll definitely try to reacquire you there. Wow, J Leon 723 has put a massive super chat. Blimey Fox, you really are building dinosaurs. I thought it was a euphemism. Wow, thank you massively for that, J Leon. You're very kind. Ridiculously kind. Thank you. That is very kind of you, my friend. Don't start all that again. Oh god, no. Yes, massive thank you for that. Yes, I really am building dinosaurs. I'm building Mesozoic creatures, which, as Weebadoodles pointed out, Mesozoic is basically the entire age of the dinosaurs. They may as well have just titled the box, Holy Crap, It's Dinosaurs. That would have been much more cool. Where's my knife? J Leon, can't thank you enough for that. Team Inept says, J Leon 73 is safe from my banhammer for at least a minute. Yeah. Guarantees you no banning. Doing a super chat. Unless you're Dave Barker, in which case Pull will still probably ban you anyway. Now, I'm not actually going to do too much on the nubs there, actually thinking about it, because it is a two-part hull. You're very welcome, says J Leon. Thank you very much, my friend. It's a two-part hull, and there's is it a connecting pin peg? Yes, there's one in the head, in the Jar Jar head, and one in the tail. We might get away with minimal sandulations here. Minimal fillings, because A, it's an organic thing, so I can get away with a lot of fudging. Fudge. But also, I've forgotten what the hell I'm talking about. I have no idea. Space Hamster's in. Hey all, decided to be a nitwit and watch the new Millennium Falcon video instead of this. Well, there you go. Why would you want to watch that when you've got dinosaurs? All the dinosaurs in the world. All the dinosaurs in the world. Now, dinosaurs. What is better than dinosaurs? Let's have a conversation about this. I always say, and I always joke and say, dinosaurs are greater than everything. That's my catchphrase. Dinosaurs are greater than everything. I use the mathematical symbol and everything. But is this true? Is it true that dinosaurs are in fact greater than everything? Is this actually something that you could consider a fact? Let's put this to the test in conversation. Let us think of things in chat. I mean, you think of things in... I can't think of things in chat because I'm not in chat. But let us think of things. And let us then think, are they better? Is that better than dinosaurs? Or is dinosaurs better than that? I'm going to need some masking tape for this, aren't I? Didn't plan ahead that far. Think of something and put it to the chat and say, is this better than dinosaurs? Or are dinosaurs better than this? Let's see if we can figure this one out. I don't think there's anything better than dinosaurs. I firmly believe, and I stand by my beliefs, that dinosaurs are, in fact, quantifiably better than everything. Get some clampy going on here. This is it's not an old Tamiya kit, but it's not brand new. It's 30 odd, well, 26 years old, these kits. So I'm not expecting absolute perfection here. I've not taken down the nubs because I'll sand those down and clean them up when everything's glued together, because I don't want to make an uneven surface to the hull. I don't want to end up with a flat spot or a gouge. I'm getting a little line of squidge coming out, so I'm going to get my little, where's my little clampy clamps? Clampy clamps. Face clamp. Tail clamp. Oh, hello. Body clamp. Clamp. Clamp it. Makes a car look good. Now I've got a little splodge of glue that's come out there, so what I'm going to do is let that ping off. Is that going to stay on? No, probably not. I could just do tape, but I don't want to do tape. There we go. So what I can do is there's a little splodge of glue that's come out, and I can soften that, smooth it back to give me minimal sanding. It's the old technique of you glue it together and squeeze it and you get a little splodge of glue that comes out the middle. But if you're cunning and clever, and I can't always do it, but if you're cunning and clever a bit, you can squinge it back a bit after it's come out of the gap. You can squidge it back a bit, smooth it, and save yourself a little bit of sanding nonsense. Not a lot, just a little bit. Yeah. I did take a big gouge out of his tail there, so I'll have to do something about that later. Right, more clampage. Clampage! Could take this, but I've got my clamps out now. There you go. So that's the fuselage. I'll get these. That's the fuselage all clamped up. There we go. Lovely. Lovely, as Colin would say. Oh, that really pinches my head, is delicate fox. It says cynical Steve. Yeah, we should be able to clean that up quite nicely, I think. Parasaurolophus. Don't need to do anything on the legs, but we need to clean up the seam lines. Let's have a look. Talking about what was better than dinosaurs. Dragons end off. Yes, that's Uncle Steve. Boobies are greater than dinosaurs, says Team Inept. Nah. No. See, boobies come at a price. There's always something. There's always a conditional thing. Whereas dinosaurs just dinosaurs. There's no price to pay for dinosaurs. There's no give and take. You know. Dinosaurs are everywhere. Boobs, you gotta suffer for your boobs. Potato waffles are better than dinosaurs. Absolutely denied. Because potato waffles are only good when you add other things to them. Just potato waffles on their own are tasteless and horrible. So denied. Thompson machine gun. No, not better than dinosaurs. Because with a Thompson machine gun, you've got to reload it. And if you run out of ammunition, you can't kill anything. With a dinosaur, it'll kill you anyway. Load it. Better than dinosaurs. A dinosaur who just ate a dinosaur, because then you have a dinosaur inside of a dinosaur, says Space Hamster. 10 points for that one. Is indeed a good point. Not often you say that you spent the evening getting mold lines, seam lines off a dinosaur. Pigeons are greater than dinosaurs, says Chris at Gross Models. Pigeons are dinosaurs, so that's like dividing by 0. It makes no sense at all. Your point is invalid. Try again. Try harder. See miss. You like it when it squidges out, says Chris at Gross Models. I'm not going to deny that. You take it where you can get it. Look. The only thing better than dinosaurs is more dinosaurs. And then Ian Thompson says exactly the same thing. Great minds think alike. Clamp it on! Unless pigeons poo on your car. Well, it's better that a pigeon poops on your car than a dinosaur. Trust me on that. I would imagine. I mean, I'd like to not imagine. How is everyone anyway? I hope you're all well today. I'm slightly broken today because not next door but one neighbours. You know the next door but one neighbours that have been doing DIY for the last 3 or 4 weeks and stuff and annoying everybody, but they're tolerable. But they've got the yappity dog that never shuts up. Well, not them. Although I blame them at first. I woke up this morning very sharply at exactly 8 o'clock in the morning because on a bank holiday. Granted that many of us aren't, there's a lot of people that haven't been at work, but some people are still working. And on a bank holiday, when they've just been looking forward to the day off, 8 AM on the dot, there is suddenly the sound of massive industrial equipment, chainsaws and tree-destroying machines. Because the chuds at the end of the road, who've got like a row of Leylandii trees, decided it would be perfect to have them all cut down at 8 o'clock in the morning on a bank holiday with all the noise in the world. And it sounded like it was, and at first I thought it was my next door neighbour but one because it was that loud. But when I went outside to open the front door this morning and the porch and stuff and stood on the path outside, it realised it was coming from the end of the road, which is like, hundreds of yards away. I was like, oh, come on, guys. I was woken up rudely at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was kind of looking forward to a bit of a lie-in this morning, but never mind. Yeah, being a bank hole and all that. No. So, yeah. That kind of, because I didn't get to bed till a bit late, so I was kind of a bit broken for most of today because I was woken up. I can't remember what I was dreaming about, but I just vaguely remember I was having a brilliant dream about something. I don't remember what it was, but it was a good dream. I was an enjoyable dream. Like you get like boring dreams and you get fun dreams. I think it was a fun like adventure type of dream. I was exploring or adventuring or something. I can't remember. But it was like explore times and adventure times and probably something Fallout based because I've been playing Fallout 4 or something. But it was jolly good. And then them numpties woke me up. That was me in a grumpy mood. Because the thing is, if you wake up naturally after 5 hours, you can actually get up and carry on with your day. If you're woken up after 5 hours of sleep, you're just broken. It's absolutely broken. I was not best pleased with them. I thought, of all the days, could you not have just waited till 9 AM? Because I know it's a bank holiday, and I know not everybody's actually at work, but there are people who are working. And I thought, I hope round here there's no, like, say, health or NHS workers who work night shifts, and you've now woken them up at 8 in the morning. Because that would suck. Or emergencies, or anybody. I hope there's nobody around here that works nights, because it was that loud. It were that loud. Could hear it over my mother-in-law. Yeah. 3 hours of sleep because of toddler rights, and I have pinched a nerve in my foot, so your 8 AM sounds really lovely, says Teeks. That is a bit different. That's in your contract, though, so, You're designed to cope with that because it's kind of the routine now. Whereas I'm used to getting my at least 7 hours sleep. And don't forget, when I say I was looking forward to a lie-in, what I mean by lie-in is 8 hours sleep. I don't mean like I was going to stay in bed all day, because I can't do that. I've got to the age now where I can't sleep more than 8 hours, otherwise I'm just broken all day. When I was a teenager, I could sleep for 13 hours a day. I could go to bed at midnight and wake up at 4 the next afternoon. Can't do that anymore. If I go to bed like after 7 hours, I am waking heck up. Maybe I can get an extra hour if I'm lucky without feeling like death. It's an age thing. But yeah, so I was thinking, you know, I've been busy over the last couple of weeks. I've been busy kind of working, doing stuff non-stop, so I haven't really had a chance for a lie-in. So it would have been and I thought, yeah, I'll just there's nothing due to turn up in the post. There were no packages due, so I didn't have to go and open the porch early for the delivery guys. It's a bank holiday anyway, so there's no post. Oh. Yeah, so I was a bit broken this morning. Quanoman says that typing's hard when you're off your face. Yeah, Quanoman's on loads of meds at the minute, so he's absolutely in space right now. So always remember, Quanoman, don't forget, everybody, verybody, everybody, rybody, why body, body, oddy, die, why. You're welcome. Don't forget. Repeat after me. Yeah. And to make it worse, because we had for the first time in 2 months last night, we realised that we could actually finally get KFC delivered. Now it's not like KFC is the best food in the world. It's just we haven't had it for 2 months, and they've never had deliveries around there anyway. But it's like I really just want KFC. So finally, yesterday, we were able to actually order some for the first time in like 2 or 3 months. And I wolfed it down. Oh, I was so happy. But I'd completely forgotten that with KFC comes the KFC hangover the next day, because you've eaten so much like protein and starch and fats and carbohydrates all in one go. You get like the KFC hangover the next day. You know, like it's the opposite. You eat McDonald's and McDonald's vanishes within half an hour. You're hungry again. It have no after effects. Whereas KFC, you eat it and it's great, and then the next day you're like, oh, it sits heavy. So I woke up. I was awoken without having all my sleep, and I had a bit of a KFC hangover. That was good. I mean, not good even. But I have to admit, the plan today, we planned it like on Wednesday last week, that today, because it was going to be nice today. The rest of end of last week was terrible. Today was nice weather. So me and Mama Fox were like, you know what, we'll get some barbecue stuff in. We'll get the Morrison's barbecue box. And we will have a barbecue on Monday, because it'll be nice. And thankfully, the people cutting down trees finished at lunchtime, which was good. Yep, so I've got all the meats out and stuff. Got them all defrosting. And then it was like about 4:30. You know, talking about food, and Mama Fox says that KFC last night was very nice, and within 5 minutes I'd ordered KFC again. All the thawed out barbecue meats in the fridge now for tomorrow. Like, today we're having barbecue. That KFC was nice. I have ordered KFC. So I'm gonna get mega KFC hangover tomorrow. What is a KFC hangover, Foxy? You just feel like leaden because it's all like intense protein and carbohydrates and starch. It's just like, it's not greasy food. It's just, I don't know. You can't explain it. You just feel egg bound a little bit. There's always a price to pay. Retro Rabbit Studios is in. Welcome, Retro Rabbit. Welcome, my friend. Doing. Doodle doo doodle doo doo doodle doo doodle doo. KFC belly, says Model Making Mayhem. You can never have enough McDonald's, says Ian. I haven't had McDonald's for 3 months either. I crave greasy chicken now, curse you. Yes, greasy chicken and the chips and the gravy. And the only thing you can't get through the, maybe just because it's our locals, but the only thing I couldn't get was mashed potato. I couldn't get that. I had to get like gravy and chips, and you get all that. And I was disappointed that the drink, well, I mean, I don't really like Pepsi, but I don't mind when you get a big cup of Pepsi from KFC. It's all right. It's better than nothing. But I ordered a couple of Pepsis, and it's just a can. And I'm like, oh, really? I get a can? Right, so there's the Parasaurolophus. all glued together and waiting to set a little bit. Let us move on to a quick one now. We'll get an easy target out of the way. We'll do the crocodile. I know, crocodile. Let's read our educational fact of the day. Educational fact of the day about crocodile. North America and Asia is the territory in body length about 5 meters. It says, crocodiles first appeared during the Triassic period and took the shape of modern crocodiles during the Jurassic period. Wow. There you go. There's your educational fact of today. There we go. Right, where's my nippers? Where are we? Where is everyone anyway? How are you all? I hope you're all well. Hope you're all enjoying the evening wherever you are. If you're in the UK, I hope you've had a good bank holiday. Where is everyone? Tell me where you are. It's always a nice way to get the lurkers out into the chat, because not everybody's comfortable doing chat. Tell us where you are. I didn't even look at the instructions for that. I just cut the piece off the sprue. Yeah, my mum goes mad for the mashed potato. Says weebadoodles. Oh yes. Oh yes. Prehistoric crocodiles were a lot more terrestrial than the ones we have today. There were a lot of them running around. Yes. I need to get the nipples on for the... Edward. Oh, Edward Leonard. Hey, Edward. Hello, everyone. Cooking for the party today. Stopping by to say hello. Welcome, Edward. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so everybody tell me where you are. I know it's always the same answer usually, and over the last few weeks it will have been the same answer because you ain't been nowhere. But it's always a nice one. There's always new people in chat, so everybody tell me where you are. Everybody look at the moon. Yeah, not a large number of parts to this crocodile. It's quite a simple one, this one. You're very big though. Almost Florida golf course alligator size. But not quite. And I shall look through in the chat in a minute and see where you all are. I, of course, am in Cheshire. As always. Ain't going nowhere, mate. Right, let's get these little nubulons cleaned up. Only a few small nubs on this. And the beauty of these is because the skin's all rough and textured anyway. It's not a problem if I've got a few knife marks here and there and bits and bobs because, hey, it's a creature. It's organimical. Organic. There you go. Do. Good chat in a second. Where is everyone? Right. Raging Modeler. Cheshire, not too far from you, Fox. Yes, because we still do at some point need to arrange to go to Goblin and play some damn Warhammer. I still haven't played any. Weebadoodles, I'm in Manchester, close to the Trafford Centre. You have my deepest of sympathies. I can't stand the Trafford Centre. It's such a hive of scum and villainy, and for once that's the right thing to say. Athol McNichol, Aberdeen, Southside, enjoying the sun on my back. Have you had good weather there today? It's been really nice here today. Nice and sunny. Ian Thompson, in me house. 10 XP. Donald Mackenzie's in Helensburgh. Hope I got that right. Helensburgh. Helensburgh. I don't know if it's Berg or just Brr. Naylor 077 is Lurker. I'm in South Africa. Excellent. Welcome, Naylor. I've not seen you in chat before. Welcome. You're more than welcome. I know approximately one phrase in. I suppose it's Africa. I was told it was Afrikaans, and that is the phrase "Ja bro." I don't know if I was being dragged along on a joke here. I don't know, but I was told that's like a way of saying "yeah, whatever." In the, I guess it's Afrikaans. Maybe it's more of a Central Africa. I don't know, but welcome. What's it like what's the weather like in South Africa at the moment? Whereabouts are you? What's it like there? What are you doing for weather-wise? Because it's winter there, isn't it? So in the south lower equator, it's winter time for you guys. Edward Lenz in Florida. I make my joke about golf course alligators. Cynical Steve, I'm good here in Burnage on Sea. Hey, up Burnage, hello lad. Had 4 whole days off to recharge the batteries before back to work tomorrow. Yeah, it's some days off, that's good. Retro Rabbit is in the sensible hat of the excited states. We have, knocking the camera, Robert Taylor is here in South Carolina. JLeon723, my lovely, thank you very much for that super chat, is at home in Plymouth, Devon. All right, my babber. That's all right. Oh, I didn't know you were down there. That's all right. Nice. You've probably got some right nice weather down there. I know this is not the right accent, but this is as good as I can do for where you are, right? I got a bit of Doc Martin going on there. It's not quite right, I know. But I've got no idea what it sounds like in Plymouth, so I'll do my Cornwall, Devon, that kind of accent. I don't know. I'm probably being racist. I don't know. Yes, I don't know. It works for me. All right, my barber. If you don't sound like Phil from Time Team, I'll be very disappointed. Teeks is halfway to the kitchen. Yeah, you get halfway and then the baby will cry and you'll be halfway back away from the kitchen. Dad says, 50 watching, only 15 likes, folks. If you likey, hit the likey. Yes, if you're watching content, not just my content, anybody's content, if you like the content you're watching and you want that person to keep making videos, always hit the like buttons because it helps their videos list higher in YouTube searches and helps your favourite creators out massively. Anders Eriksson is at Sweden, city of Alingsås. See that croc has a hollow belly, so hasn't eaten for ages, says Athel. Oh yeah, I could fit the Archaeopteryx in there. I could fit a Tamiya 135th Wehrmacht in there. That'd be quite funny. Dad asks the important question, what's on your bench and what's in your belly? What are you working on? If anything, doesn't have to be a model, can be any kind of crafty project. And what's in your belly? What have you had for your dinner? Or having for your dinner? Aidan says, hi all in the lovely Wolverhampton, UK. Welcome, Aidan. I think I've decided you all talk like that. You all talk with this kind of accent. Philip Prime says, I'm in Great Yarmouth and no Fox, no Somerset accent, please. All right, well, I won't do that voice then. Because if it's going to annoy you, I won't do that. I won't. The Raging Modeler says, we do Fox indeed, yes. Yes, I only go to the TC for cinema, occasionally the Waterstouts to the Trafford Centre. If you don't know what that is, because obviously you're not in the Northwest, the Trafford Centre is just a great big shopping mall just outside of Manchester, and it's just an armpit. It's a nice shopping centre, but it's mostly just mouth-breathing chavs that go there, so, yeah. Good morning from Wollongong. Wow, Angus, welcome. I didn't realise you were in Wollongong. A lot of history in rocketry in Wollongong. Have I got that right? That was one of the key locations for lots of developments of rocket engines and things and satellites and stuff. Is that Wollongong? I could have that wrong. Or was that Woomera? That might have been Woomera. I'm making it up now. Do correct me in chat. Belly pint of 1664 bench. So many things, says Retro Rabbit. There you go. Excellent. Bench figuring out this YouTube. Belly burgers, chips, and steamed veggies, says Model Making Mayhem. Good girl. Good morning and welcome, Angus. Oh, Angus Alexin. Welcome, Angus. Team Inept's back. Yeah, I didn't finish the other one though, Paul. It's still just setting, so there you go. I am not sure where the feck I am. Maybe orbiting the rings of Saturn, says Uranus. Says Quano Man. I said Uranus then for some reason. I've been watching the planets, haven't I? So, yes. Afrikaans is Binje Nederlands maar dan anders, says Teeks. Afrikaans is bijna or bijna Nederlands maar dan anders. Foxy, you sound more like a Suffolker. When I talk like that, it's because that's the only way I know how to do that. I can't think of any other way to do it. It's because I grew up listening to Pam Ayres. I got this little mini. It really is quite cute. But when it won't start in the morning, you have to give it a boot. Pam Ayres was terrible. How was Pam Ayres a celebrity in the 70s? She was rubbish. Joke ruined, says Team Inept. No, that's Woomera. We got steelworks in coal mines, says Angus. Yeah, as I was talking, I thought it was Woomera suddenly. Bench was the project today. Set up the ducting for the mini spray booth, which required considerable reconfiguration on the desk layout. All sorted now and about to crack open the Parasaurolophus. Ooh, you making these as well? Belly was a delicious roast pork dinner. Yes. Right. Anyway, this is not getting my crocodilian done. Apologise, I've got the sniffles. Right, so this is going to be mostly just clean up because he's only got 2 parts. They really had a Friday afternoon when they did the crocodile. I mean, not only did they give you a crocodile. See, when I get a box of dinosaurs, I don't really want something that's still around today because that's not exciting. Oh, the Raging Modeler, £2. This stream is rawsome. Thank you very much, the Raging Modeler. That's very kind of you. Very, very kind. Don't forget, folks, by the way, a lot of people watching this in the chat, a lot of the folks in chat do have their own YouTube channels. It's kind of obvious by the names. If the name's like Bob Smith, they probably don't. But if it's like The Raging Modeler or, you know, Team Inept and things like that, then do go and check out their channels. Now, I have an update. It used to be that you could click on the little 3 dots next to someone's comment and it would say go to channel. And that seems to have disappeared, and there's a bit of an uproar because that was a good way for people to, first of all, to promote their channels, but it was also a way for mods to find out if someone was genuine. So if you get somebody coming into your chat, let's say somebody comes into the chat and their name is PewDiePie, and you're like, oh, is that the PewDiePie? And if you clicked on the 3 buttons and go to channel, you'd see it wasn't. It was some spoon with making himself with the same name. So mods would often use that to get rid of spam accounts. It's gone. And there's a big uproar, but apparently it's only been removed temporarily while YouTube try and fix it because it was a bit exploitable, apparently. There was a bit of an exploit scenario going on and they wanted to, so they're trying to fix it. So it will come back. But for the moment, here's how we'll do it. If you do have a YouTube channel, because you know me, I do 2 things. I teach you how to do what I do and show you that it's not as hard as you think. And also, I like to help other people develop their own content. Now, it's not, YouTube's not for everybody, but I know some of you quite fancy doing it and some of you started. So, if you have a YouTube channel, if you are a mod, feel free to post a link to your channel if you're already a mod with the blue spanner. Dad's already done it because Dad wastes no goddamn time whatsoever pimping his stuff. If you are not a mod, then if you could please just let one of the mods know, just say in chat what the name of your channel, just say, can you link for me please? Just let them know, and they'll, if they can, they'll try and find your channel because they're probably already subscribed anyway. They'll post a link for you because only mods can post links. So if you want one of the mods to pimp your channel, just let them know in chat and they'll pimp it for you. Because I'm more than happy for you to pimp your channels. I know some of you got new channels. And that's cool. Earl D's in. Says that's better. I don't know why the phone signed me into that account. Teek says, oh no, I forgot to take the bin out. Be right back. Teek's bins went out this morning. Honestly. Taking bins out was last night. So not northern, are you? Dude, excess webbing on the web lizard. Yeah, there's a little bit of a he's got a bit of a, I don't know, bit of a ballast line on the hull there. Bit of a plimsoll line. I mean, when it gets painted, it's gonna get, you're not gonna see that. Let's have a look. Dad put some more links to some channels. Yes, if you do have a channel though, and let's say your YouTube name is not blatantly obvious, if you've got like your personal channel, like Dave Barker's got Dave Wise Rum and Barker, which we kick him off every 5 minutes, and he's also got Butcher That Model. So if your YouTube channel is not the name you signed in as, do let the mods know and they'll adjust it. Retro Rabbit says, do not fill Gator past this point. Crocodile. do. Now you could feasibly get away with this mold line as being excess plating, but I'm not gonna carve it away. I'm so used to Bandai and Games Workshop that I've forgotten about like other manufacturers and their mold lines. Quite small, so I don't want to go in heavily with the files and stuff. I think what we'll do is we'll get these built and then I'll put them to one side, and before we paint them, I'll do some customization to it. I'll do some modding, and I'll add like perhaps little I might scratch build, see if I can scratch build some kind of saddles and harnesses and stuff, or you know, just plaster. I've got loads of spare Warhammer tank bits from like Lehman Russes and things. There's a helicopter going overhead. It's a bit heavy duty. They might call it a crocodile in the paper, but it might be intended to be a Dinosaurus 10 meters in length. No, it actually says crocodile. And it says crocodiles first appeared during the Triassic period and took the shape of modern crocodiles during the Jurassic period. They actually label it as an crocodile, not Dinosaurus. Dinosaurus. So I don't know. It's when you get a box of dinosaurs, you really don't want a crocodile. Not, you know, it's like getting a box of race cards, but one of them's like a soapbox racer. You're like, oh, that's no. No. Anyway, what was I talking about? I've got no idea. I've forgotten already now. I got into pimping at people's channels. Tripped myself up then. Pimping people panels. There was a big nasty seam line on the tail. Whoa. Come on, Tamiya, what are you doing to me? Now, it could technically get away with it as... No, you couldn't. Do let me know if my head keeps getting shot, by the way. I've got no idea where the camera is. That is I don't want to get too heavy with the removing seam lines because I don't want to fill in the skin texture. I may have to recarve some of that or rescribe it. Ugh. Honestly, you've got a big mould line right down the middle of the hull, and now I've got to recarve the panel lines. Ugh. I don't know. Tamiya, what are you doing to us? I was looking at on the side of some of the blurb. It's got a picture of the big Tyrannosaurus Rex kit that Tamiya do, and you look at it, and it's just so inaccurate. It's just so not accurate nowadays. Like nowadays, we know they were fatter and bigger, and they'd had feathers. I think there's a Revell one as well, which just looks pathetic. It looks like something like the 1950s. Is it Revell that do a T-Rex kit that's absolute garbage? Beyond Hope's in. Sorry all, I'm late. Sorry I'm late. I do have a good reason. Awesome. Don't hold back. The class wants to know. Have you got a letter from... Have you got a note from your mum? It's not accurate, but still it will be great. Not the Revell one. The Revell one... The one I've seen that's a Revell one, it looks like a really bad model of like a really badly rip-off of Godzilla. It doesn't even look like a T-Rex. Like everybody knows what a T-Rex looks like, and that's not it. Like Revell, they can't make anything that looks like anything accurate at all. I don't know, it's just nonsense. And that seam line goes to the edge there, so I can leave it there. Don't worry about it down there. Beyond Hope says, I was watching Les Miserables musical, got carried away with One Day More, Another Day Destiny. That's not an acceptable excuse, because that's completely girly. If you said you were watching, like, you know, I was watching Predator or Commando or whatever, you know, that would have been acceptable. If you said I was watching The Wrath of Khan and I lost track of time, yeah, but Les Miserables? No. No, 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 no. No, no. It's good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Les Miserables, but no. No, 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 no. Swig of the waters. There's a few nice resin kits for dinosaurs, but they're expensive as heck. Yes. Philip Prime says he's doing a stream tomorrow. There could be a hidden theme in the stream tomorrow night. Last week's was Bond movie titles and villains' names. For a man who says he likes music, you, sir, are a heathen. I like music. I just don't like... I don't mind Les Miserables, but I wouldn't sit and watch it. You know, it's very simple. The music. I don't like musicals. I like music. I like musicals. So we're supposed to be geeks. We can't watch Les Miserables. That's old people's upper middle class nonsense. That's what I'm saying. If you're watching like The Wrath of Khan, acceptable. If you've been watching anything with Arnie in it, that will be acceptable, just because it's the Arnie. I've got news for you. There is no bathroom. Star Wars or something, you know. Les Miserables, no. I was caught. I'm sorry I couldn't. I was late. I was engaged in musical theatre. Doesn't really know. You see, it's not got the gravitas that, you know. I don't know. We'll let you off this time, but don't let it happen again. You know, I don't. Lynn Dipple's in. Hi, Lynn. Says, yeah, live stream. Yeah, Lynn doesn't often get to join live stream because the hours she works, and she's in that there America land where it's all weird time anyway. This crocodile, I got this crocodile as the second one because I thought it'd be a really quick one. This to get this one. No, it's taking forever to clean up. Apologies. I thought this would be. It's only got 2 parts. I thought this would be a quickie. We'll get this one done while the other one's drying. No. I don't. How's the audio and video, folks? Are we doing okay? My head constantly in shot. The Wrath of Khan is the only movie nothing will get me off the sofa for. Absolutely. I was working the other day, and for no reason at all, I got a little bit of the soundtrack stuck in my head, and then I had to go and listen to it again very loudly. But I had to waste an hour yesterday morning because for some reason my music software decided that it wouldn't have the tracks for the Wrath of Khan in the right order, and I'm like, oh, so I had to go in and re-tag them all. It's like, oh. Yeah, that is the Wrath of Khan. It is James Horner's finest work. And if you read the leaf notes in the Wrath of Khan in the soundtrack, he says how he was proud of it, but he thinks his better work was Search for Spock. And I'm like, you're having a laugh. Search for Spock was dead and dry. The Wrath of Khan was a much more interesting soundtrack. It's the best music he ever wrote. Best soundtrack. He reused it many times. It appears in Aliens and lots of other things. But it is, in my opinion, possibly the best movie soundtrack of all time. I think. Because it fits perfectly the theme. Because when Nicholas Meyer set out to make The Wrath of Khan, he wanted to do it as a kind of Captain Hornblower kind of naval adventure, but in space. And the soundtrack is absolutely spot on with all its swirling arpeggios and staccato crescendo. All kind of, it's just real. You can just imagine the Enterprise. There's a track called Enterprise Clears Moorings, where the Enterprise is leaving space dock, and it's that music that accompanies that. It just is. You can imagine it being a film where you're seeing the tall ship and all the sails unfurl, and the camera's looking up at the sails that catch the wind, and the seas roaring past the hull, and it's just perfect. He really managed to get that kind of Hornblower vibe. Best soundtrack ever. I'll hear no other arguments. It's not a multiple choice. So I listened to that a lot yesterday, very loudly while I was working. Yeah, good stuff. Awesome stuff. Great film. One of my all-time favourite films, that. Wrath of Khan. Don't mince words, Bones. What do you really feel? Jim, I'm your doctor, and I'm your friend. Of all people, Bones, you should know the risks of reopening old wounds. Still, old friend. That film has so many good lines in that film. Surely I have made my meaning clear, Admiral. Khan, you've got to give us time. The console's smashed. Time is a luxury you don't have, Admiral. How do I know you'll keep your word, Khan? I have given you no word to keep, Admiral. You simply have no choice. I see your point. It's coming over now, Khan. Oh, I'm going to have to watch that again. I've not watched it for a while. I've got it on DVD. I'll have to go on Blu-ray. I'll have to go and watch it again. They put things in our bodies. $65 watching. Whoa, really? 62. Wow, we had 65 people watching. Welcome to all of you. If you are watching this and you're not in the live chat, please, 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 please come and join the live chat. It's a really cool place to hang out. If you're watching it and you can't see the live chat, if you're on a mobile device like a phone or a tablet, you may just need to scroll down below the video. It may be under there. If you're watching in the YouTube app, then it might be better if you simply close that and watch in YouTube in your browser on your mobile device instead. You'll view the browser version, the desktop version. The chat will be in there. But if you're watching this on a desktop, and you can see the YouTube icon in the bottom right hand corner of the video player, click on that, it'll take you to the YouTube page where you can see the live chat. And you want to join in the live chat, you are all welcome. Because the reason we're doing all, you know, not just me, but me and Dad and Chris and all the rest of us, the reason we're doing all these extra streams is twofold. One, we're all, well, not me personally, because I'm always stuck at home, but for the other guys, they're stuck at home. They can't go to work. They're stuck at home. They've got all this free time, and you are keeping them company. It's contact with the outside world, but it goes the other way as well. The second thing is it's content for you guys, because you're just as stuck at home as the rest of us. But we're lucky in that we have YouTube channels and we can reach out to you guys. So we're taking advantage of the freedom that we have to reach out to you guys and giving you guys a place to hang out for an hour or two with like-minded nutters. I mean, people. If you're watching this and you can access the chat, come and access the chat. I know some people don't like doing chat and stuff, but there's nothing to worry about. Everybody in chat's lovely. The mods will keep you safe. I'm one of the very few lucky YouTubers who has almost, well, virtually zero snark. There's just no, excuse me, there's no nastiness in my chat at all, ever. I'm really lucky. If you want a truly safe place to hang out and chat, my streams are perfect. Where are the nuclear vessels? That's Star Trek for the Voyage Home. Good film, that. So, like, Vija is amalgamated into this much larger probe ship thing, and no one wiped the dust off the plaque to expose the full name. Yeah, the motion picture is not. You have to remember, the motion picture was Roddenberry. That's why it was 35 hours long, and nothing happened. Roddenberry was a master and a genius, but at the end of the day, Star Trek was better when they stopped him doing anything. Yeah, he was a consultant in The Wrath of Khan. If he'd been the actual producer, The Wrath of Khan would have been a lot longer and a lot less interesting. That's why the first season of Next Generation was terrible, because it was him. Then they kind of shuffled him off as a consultant after that, and it got better. "'Tis a far, far better thing I do than I have ever done before," says Philip. Prime. Yep. That hollowed croc belly would take about half a tube of putty, I'd guess. Yeah, but it sits on flour like that, you see. I'm going to glue it to base. You ain't going to say that. Mr. Beginning, what is Fox working on, says Richard. We are working on Mesozoic Creatures. 1/35th scale diorama. We have an infant Parasaurolophus, an infant Tyrannosaurus, an Oviraptor, a Hypsilophodon, I always get that one wrong, a Crocodile, which is rubbish, and an Archaeopteryx, a dinosaur space pigeon. I don't know why I said space. It's nothing to do with space. Space. Ivan Martinez, hi Ivan, says, hi Model Making Guru. Got some new names coming in. Hey, I talk crap most of the time, and this lot still let me run riot in chat, says Beyond Hope. Be friendly and you get friendly back. Hey, Richard, welcome Richard. Welcome, who else has come in? Ivan Kirbyside Jr. I've been doing a retrospective on Voyager, says Kirbyside. I love DS9 the most. I like season 2 onwards of Next Gen. I like Voyager. I do like Voyager. Voyager's alright. I've watched Voyager, all of Voyager, like 3 times. I don't mind it. It's not as good as Next Gen. It's not as good as it's nowhere near DS9. It's not even as good as Next Gen, but it's alright. It has some saving graces. The Doctor was fantastic. I like the Doctor character. Right, that's that. I think cleaned up to a decent standard. I've not finished yet though, because I need to. Whoa, what is that? That's. I don't know what that is. That's whoa. Ivan Martinez says he's put through 2,000 CRCs. I don't know what that is. What currency is that? Thank you very much, Ivan. That's very, very kind of you. I don't know how much that is, but that just is a big number, so I'll be like, that's incredible. Thank you. Wow, I don't know what that is. What currency is that? I don't recognise CRCs. That's just stopped me in my tracks. I don't know where to go with that. Wow. Wow. Massive, massive thank you. That's very, very kind of you. That's a big blue bar with a big number in it. That's all I need to know. I don't know what, but there's 2,000 of them, says Sadster. Massive thank you. Very, 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 very much thank you. Costa Rican. All right, Costa Rican colon. All right, cool. Thank you very much. Costa Rican money, says Teeks. Very, very kind of you. You're very, very generous. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. I don't know where to go from that. That's kind of floored me a little bit. That's incredible. Thank you. Very, very kind of you. I do this for a living. Most of you know this, but some of you might be new. This is what I do for a living. So I don't take any things like super chats and stuff that you do for me. I never take them for granted or take them lightly. Because it's what I do for a living. This is my income. So I never take anything like that for granted. It's very, very kind of you. And it always floors me how generous you folks are. Not just with the money, but with the time. But again, I said it before, you guys are the best community, and like I said a little while ago, you know, I have such little negativity in my chat and comments and stuff. I couldn't ask for a better group of people to watch my nonsense. You guys just rock. You guys just rock. Und also kick ass, ja, das ist richtig. Anybody else new coming to chat? We had. Anybody else new? Anybody else new? Hey, Jamie's in. Welcome, Jamie. J. Leon says, support your favourite YouTubers. Thumbs up. Yes. People are saying how they fell in love with Marina Sirtis. Oh, Marina Sirtis in Next Generation. Oh, yeah. This is what I didn't. This is what got me about Voyager. I didn't mind Voyager. It just didn't seem to have. See, I like a nice ensemble cast. So I like things like Bones. Bones, I love Bones. Bones is fantastic. Bones is one of the best ensemble casts you can get. House, similar. It's a small ensemble cast, but it's an ensemble cast nonetheless. Yeah, Bones, House, Hill Street Blues, anything that's got a large number of actors and characters where they're all. It's about their relationships and about how they react with each other. And that, I love that. Castle was good. Yeah, a small ensemble cast, but it's an ensemble cast nonetheless. I love stuff like that. So Next Gen was just a fantastic cast. Deep Space Nine was an absolutely fantastic cast. I prefer Deep Space Nine to Next Gen. But Voyager, he didn't really gel, really. I like Janeway. I love the Doctor. I like Barclay. Obviously, you can't not like Barclay. He was in Next Gen as well, but there's a lot of the characters that you could just have done without, really. Chakotay, we could have removed him completely, it wouldn't have made a difference. Tuvok, Neelix, maybe a little. Neelix was alright, but a little bit annoying. Neelix was kind of the Jar Jar Binks of Star Trek. It was like, yeah, almost. Not quite, but close. It was skirting around it. But even Neelix had a better character than Tuvok and Chakotay. Chakotay really was an underused character. And in a lot of ways, he was kind of very cliche as well. Oh, right, he's the American Indian, so he's got to be all spiritual and everything. It's like, really? You could have just worked on that a bit more, but never mind. I think even Robert Beltran at the end said he got a bit unhappy about the way they were using Chakotay, because it really was like, what's the cookie cutter Native American type character that they could have done something with, but they didn't. Tom Paris, yeah, whatever. I'm struggling to remember characters now. Bellana Torres, whatever. It was like the Doctor, Janeway, and a little bit of Neelix, and that was it. There's no real. I mean, hell, even the holographic Doctor on that ship that they had to the ship that came apart, and it was the concept. What was it called? The one where it was like the prototype ship, and it had the other Doctor, and they were kind of the two Doctors together. Even that scene once holographic Doctor outshone most of the regular characters. 7 of 9, yeah, okay, I'll give you 7 of 9. 7 of 9 was a good character, and not for the cat suits, but she was actually quite a good character. The woman, what's her name? Neelix's girlfriend, what's her name? Kez. Yeah, could have done without her. She got annoying. Yes, there's a lot of characters that were just like, whatever. Whereas Deep Space Nine, every single character was essential, and every single character was absolutely brilliant. There were no duff characters. Deep Space Nine was by far the best of all of them. And they really should remaster that in high def, but they won't. They won't. They never will. There's no money in it for them. Right, I think we've just about cleaned up Yon nonsense from Yon Crocodilius. So, let's go through the long and lengthy construction process. Hello. That just fell from somewhere. I don't know where that just fell from. Fell from somewhere. Put it over there. Now, yes, let's go through the long and lengthy construction process. Are we ready for this? It takes a lot of skill and talent to make this. I really like Discovery, says EC Idaho. Oh, hey, EC Idaho. Yeah, Discovery was alright. This first season was a bit pants. Second season was better. I quite like Discovery. But again, there's not a lot of show-stopping characters. And nothing has really, that really doesn't want to stick, does it? Nothing's really come close to Deep Space Nine. Discovery was all right. That's going to be a big old seam line in there. Discovery was not particularly offensive. It was all right. Where's this going to fit now? It's not going to be a good fit for this chap here. Slight. Oh dear, that's not going to fit at all, is it? Okay, it's a model with 2 parts, and somehow they've managed to revel the crap out of it, and it doesn't actually fit at all. Wow, Tamiya, what the... It's a 2-part model, and you've messed it up. How did you do that? How on earth did you just... I don't even know how you did that. It's like you had one job, dude. You had one job, and somehow you made it... Yeah, that's a horrendous joint there. A lot of filling on that. The one that was going to be the simplest of all of them is going to be the fiddliest and most clean-up-ist. Wow, that's quite abominable. That would make Revell look professional. Quite shocked by that, Tamiya. It's not something we can't recover. We can fix it. Can we fix it? No, it's knackered. Also, there's a big sink mark right in the middle that I didn't notice, and it's right in his mouth now. Never mind. Okay, so that's the horrendous seam line. Wow, that's pretty bad. Bad workman blames his tools. They're not blaming the tools. I'm blaming the blaming the thing. Right. Well, I'd rather have a bit of excess down here to sand back or carve away than a big gap on the side of his head. We can do some. We can fix it. We can smooth and sand. We've had the sprue glue splooging out. Raging Modeler says, this reminds me of the sadness gluing my Northern Alliance scald together. Actually, World of Warcraft nonsense, isn't it? Is that World of Warcraft? Is that some Ponzi role-playing nonsense that isn't Skyrim, therefore can be disregarded? Yeah. Scratch builder corrector jaw. No, I don't do scratch building. I'm not the builder, I'm the painter. I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover. Cool. Well, we can work with that. That's still savable. We've got a bit of a sticky out bit there. Done one. Right, let's get the Parasaurolophus done then, because we've let him dry for a while. We'll put our croc in his little receptacle. Parasaurolophus. Kings of War by Mantic Games, it's metal, all the sadness. Oh god. Why does it have Deathcore Krieg arms on it? Shut up, Paul. Shut up. Looking forward to the newly confirmed These Are the Voyages with Pike's Enterprise, says Donald Mackenzie. Absolutely. That was one of the best bits about the second season, was that whole thing with Pike, because that was fantastic. That was awesome. The actor, what's his name? Actor McPersonface. He did Pike. The way he did it was really kind of like sci-fi with a normal current day modern contemporary twist. I like the way Ainsley Harriott, not Ainsley Harriott. What am I talking about? What's his name? Ashley? No. Anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. If you aren't aware of that, they've announced that they are doing a spin-off series with Pike and Number One and Spock on the Enterprise. And the thing is, they could do a lot of that because there's 10 years of that before Anson Mount. That's it. There's 10 years of that before Kirk and Spock and all that lot on the Enterprise. Right, now the glue that we squidged out the gaps here has had enough time to dry. Now, you will hear me say in places, when you do like sprue glue and stuff, or glue filling, you need to leave it 24 hours, but you don't. Sometimes you can go in within like half an hour and clean up seam lines. Where you've had the glue splooge out, as long as it's had about half an hour to an hour, if you're cunning enough, if you know what you're doing and you've got experience doing it and you know how to do it, you can actually go in and clean. I'm just clearing away that little sort of ridge of glue that splooged out very carefully. Luckily, it's on the bottom of his head where it's kind of fairly smooth. Now, these aren't going to be perfect because there probably will be an obvious mark, because the difficulty is there's a big hole there. The plastic isn't thick enough. I'm going to have to fill that with sprue glue anyway. The difficulty is that it's textured skin, and where you've had to clean it up, there's not a lot you can do to replace the texture. Not really. So, come back with that. We smooth any of it down with the scrapey tool. I don't want to just develop a flat surface, but I think I will. And because the plastic's so thin, it is actually going straight into just being a hole. So I may have to leave this chap for longer. He's still a little bit squishy, which is weird. Yeah, so the difficulty is if I go too crazy with him, I'll lose some of the skin texture, which would be a shame. Especially on the neck. I don't really want to lose that texture, but I may have to sacrifice it. I mean, luckily it's underneath. The bit on the top of his back, that's kind of... This is hidden on the back because it's just the two parts of the back crest come together like that, which is perfect. You can't see it, but on the belly, yeah, it's on his belly. Like this bit here, again, it's a sharp edge, so I can just sand it or smooth it. You'll get away with it. Hello, Mama Fox.
Hello. Hello.
Mama Fox says hello to the internet. Parasaurolophus. I want Ainsley Harriott as the crew with the red shirt. Yeah, I don't know where I got Ainsley Harriott from. Hello, Fox's mum. Hello, Fox's mum. Now the thing is, of course, if I'm going to put like greebles and things on these at some point in the future, I could do a lot of covering up of like the... See, I can be clever. If I'm going to put things like weapons on the backs, I can try and scratch build like straps and stuff. So I could make a collar and a strap that goes right down the middle, and that would cover up the seam line. So nothing is all lost. Not everything is lost. Only I can Warhammer up dinosaurs, isn't it? Hope your foot is getting on the mend, Mama Fox. Oh, thank you, Alan. I guess I shall pass that on. Yeah, she's got a poorly foot, Mama Fox. At the moment. She'll be fine. It's just a old people's thing. She'll be alright. Thank you for your kind thoughts. Right, I'm very tired, so I'm going to sleep night. Also, says Chris at Gross Models. He's only tired because he's been on the brandy all night, because he got that bottle of brandy, didn't he? Gifted to him. And I've got to tell you, watching him yesterday on his stream, it was brilliant. Because he was like, it was like he was on speed. He was talking like 10 to the dozen more than normal. It was hilarious. It was awesome. At the cognac. Yes, well, brandy. It was cognac, wasn't it? Just takes a bit longer to heal, that's all, says Adster. Yeah, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. A little bit of a gouge there, so I'll clean that up. I'm going to basically get one dinosaur done, aren't I? Let's just be honest. So let's just see how we get on with this one. A doobie-doobie-doo. Yes, I'm going to have to do some creative, like, bindings and straps and things. Maybe. To cover up some of this seam line here. There's a gap that I'm going to have to fill with sprue goo. But if I can soften this little neck bit. I don't just want it to be smooth, you see, but there's only so much I can sculpt back in or sort of scratch back in. It's got a smiley face. I can't show it on camera because I can't get close enough, but he has got a lovely smiley face. He's like, I'm happy. He's like, it is like a Jar Jar Binks face, let's just be honest. Get rid of the seam line on his bill. He needs a smooth bill. I do have the Age of Sigmar Star Drake built up that I need to paint at some point. And that's like one of these things. Now I must go watch Chris's show after Fox, says Lynn. Yeah, it was just yesterday's Sunday show. He was a little bit hyper. It was quite funny to watch. And he was painting stuff, but you could see he was a little bit conscious of the fact he was painting stuff and drinking cognac, and it could all go horribly wrong at any moment. Yeah, it was fun. Jose Rosendo is in. Welcome, Jose. I like it when I see new names in chat. Always nice. We're going to try and scribe back in a little bit of his mouth. He's got his mouth there because I'm sanding it, of course. I'm losing a bit of his cheesy. He's got like a cheesy, gormless smile. He's a little bit derpy, I think, this one. And we'll just use a scribing tool to try and get this back. If you haven't got a scribing tool, get a scribing tool. They're not just for carving panel lines into plastic card. They are for all kinds of things. When I got this, I never thought I'd be using it to carve out the mouth of a Parasaurolophus. But hey, here we are. There you go, let's give him a bit of his derpy mouth back. My roomie spent £100 on a Sigmar figure and he lost the crown. He is not happy, says Wackenbacker UK. Welcome, Wackenbacker UK. Again, new name, like it. Yeah, I can imagine losing parts. Especially if you spent £100 on it. Right, I think... Now, here's a trick for you. I know I've shown this before, but for anybody who's new, when you've been doing any kind of like carving with a scribing tool to kind of get little carve lines back, there will be a little bit of scruff that you've got. You've made a little bit of a rough surface, but if you want to smooth it down, get yourself a little bit of Tamiya extra thin, most of it off, and just run it along that panel line. I say panel line, it's his mouth. It will get rid of any of those, because this glue dissolves plastic. It will take any rough texture that you've put into it. If you put some scratch marks and stuff, it will take that rough texture, it will melt it a little bit and soften it. But not so much that you'll still have the gap where the mouth is, but you'll have softened it away and it'll look like his bill again, rather than looking like you've scraped it with a scraping tool. Handy tip. We can clean up on this. Again, this is right down the crest of his head, so we can kind of get away with being a bit heavy-handed with this. It's where you've got seam lines on surfaces that come together like that, like a point, like on the like here on the back, where it's like that. You can kind of get away with it, but when it's just a flat surface like the belly, it's a lot more challenging to clean up a seam line or a mold line. Well, it's a seam line here, but a lot more challenging to clean that up than it is because you've not got the natural crest of two parts coming together, which you can get away with a lot of stuff. And I hate using filler. I refuse to use filler because filler's a pain in the backside. I'd rather use careful and clever sanding and sprue goo and glue. If I'm going to fill something, I want to fill it with more plastic rather than other things. So I'll try and be as clever as I can and minimise it. Now, can somebody look up what is a Parasaurolophus? Is it a type of hadrosaur, or is a hadrosaur a completely different beaked herbivore? Because they're both beaked herbivores, or are they different time periods? Because everybody knows the hadrosaur, but not everybody knows what a Parasaurolophus is. So, is it a completely different species of beaked herbivore, or is it like an offshoot, like a type of hadrosaur? Raging Modeler just looked up the Revell T-Rex model. Giggling has ensued. Yeah, it's just garbage, isn't it? It's absolute garbage. It's like, Revell, at what point in any point in the universe did T-Rex ever look like that? Weebadoodle says it is a hadrosaurid with an exclamation mark. Yes, hadrosaurs. I like the herbivorous dinosaurs. They're kind of cool. Got to call it work in the morning. Cheers, Fox and Nostar gang, says Cynical Steve. Take care, buddy. Nostar to you too. And work well tomorrow. Have a good day at work. Mayhem says Parasaurolophus is a type of hadrosaur because of the head crest and the internal skull structure. There you go. And Reggie Modeler says that the Revell T-Rex is like a derpy Godzilla. That's what I said earlier. It's like Godzilla with a case of the derps. Teeks has got to go do dad stuff for a bit, aka someone woke up. Hopefully be right back. We'll give her a fuss from us, dude. And maybe a shot of brandy on the gum just to quieten her down a little bit. It never did us any harm. There. Little bit of clean up on the back. I've seen Derpzilla, says Mayhem. My raging modeler says I've seen more convincing dinosaurs given away with cereals. Yeah, with cornflakes. Yeah. I used to know my dinosaurs, says Beyond Hope. My Jurassic Park has deadened my brain to a lot of stuff. Yeah. That's the weird thing. It's the weird thing about dinosaurs. I don't know what it is about dinosaurs, but it's impossible for a child not to like dinosaurs. They may grow out of it, or they may grow up to be Jack Horner. But you know, but it's impossible for a child not to like dinosaurs at some point. And I can see. I don't quite know why, because it's just, you know, they're just big creatures. They don't get excited over rhinos or giraffes. Dinosaurs, yeah. I think it's just because they're big, scary monsters, really. Right. I think that's as good is going to get. Mama Fox, she actually, because Mayhem says, more convincing dinos in the cheap kids' toy packs. A few years ago, Mama Fox, when one of my nephews was quite young, she just ordered some bits and bobs, because my nephews would come around, they'd visit, you know, once or twice a year, because they lived down in Chelmsford. They'd visit once or twice a year. And when they were quite young, she bought, amongst other things, a bucket of dinosaurs. It was basically a bucket-sized bucket. It was a proper big-ass bucket, a plastic bucket. And it was full of dinosaurs, and there was like T-Rex, and there was Stegosaurus, and there was Brontosaurus, you know, and the various Allosauruses. They weren't particularly labelled as that, but you could tell what they were. And they were reasonably accurate little toys, just plastic toys. And it included palm trees, which I'm sure weren't around, and rocks, and there was a couple of little plastic volcanoes, and it was like, I was quite impressed, because it was just like a few quid. It was like a simple bucket full of plastic toys. But I have to admit to being a little bit impressed of the quality of the dinosaurs. It wasn't too bad, actually. I mean, yeah, they were still a bit cliche, but they weren't far off this kind of level of detail, to be perfectly honest. I think I've actually cleaned that up quite nicely now, without any filling. I think with little tiny bit there, there's a little bit of a gap in the neck, which I can't. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I bloody well can. I can squeeze the neck together, get some glue in there. I can splooge out some glue, I think. Fill that without going as far as sprue glue. As long as I keep some firm pressure on it. Keep that pressure on. No, it's not going to do it. Yeah, it might be in. Oh no, there we go. I can somehow get more pressure on than one clamp. Clamp? What's a clamp? Than one clamp. A clamp to that, is it? No. If I push it together, it splooges glue out, but if I let go, it makes a little hole again. Dinos are fantastical beasts like dragons and unicorns. You see rhinos at the zoo or in a 40k table. Right, dinos are only in books. I see what you did there with the rhino. I think you nailed it. Big scary monsters. For me, learning they were extinct was what excited me as a kid. You always want what you can't have. Monkey puzzle trees were definitely around. You can find fossils of it in. I love monkey puzzle trees. They're kind of so primitive, aren't they? Ian Thompson says, Lepictidium was my favourite dinosaur growing up because of the name. I got it wrong. Leptictidium. Leptictidium. There you go. Leptictidium. I've not heard of that one. Is that a herbivore or a carnivorous dinosaur? Is it a raptor? On everything jumped. Jose said, Este canale muito bom. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. I don't know what it says, but I can kind of guess. I think he's saying it's a very good channel. Thank you very much. Zasta says, fossils, even not fossils. I like fossils. Always was the fan of the Deinonychus. And they had a big ass curved murder claws. Yes. One thing I don't like about death claws in Fallout is the big claws on the feet that just they look silly. In Fallout 4. They just don't look practical. Right, the glue is splooged out a bit. I've had it in my hand for a few moments. It's not obviously fully dried, but it's got a little blob of glue that came out. And when I let go, it kind of stays there a little bit. So there's still a little bit of a gap. But it's now, instead of being a gap, it's now a very shallow gap with a layer of plastic behind it. So it no longer looks like a hole in the model. It looks just like a bit of texture. So I'm more than happy with that. Now, there may be more work to do once it's been primed, but I think what we'll do is we'll get the bits glued on. Glue your bits on! Have we got a base? No, this one doesn't have a base, does it? Does it have a base? Did I? Where's my destructions? No, this one doesn't come with a base. It's a bit rubbish, really. I can't believe Parasaurolophus doesn't come with a base. Ridiculous. Jose did say this channel is very good. I don't know what he's watching. Yes, beyond hope. Yes, I don't read Spanish or Portuguese or what have you, what it may be, but I can kind of figure it out. Este Canal, I'm guessing, is this channel. Rita Bomb. Yes, thank you very much, Jose. That's very kind of you. Some things are just universally easily read. Stegs were awesome. Used to love Brontosaurus until they were proved not to exist and someone screwed up some fossils. Although I seem to remember that was the whole thing, if it was actually an Apatosaurus or something similar. And then they realised actually maybe it was actually a real dinosaur, but just a young version of one. I can't remember now, but there was some hoo-ha about it. They were wrong and then they weren't wrong. I know on the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe they mentioned it a few times. And said, actually, we thought it was an error and made up and it was actually a real thing or something. Or maybe they realised what the fossil actually was. Now, remember, when I glue on arms onto my Space Marines, what do? I use the thick glue because I need it to hold some weight, because I need the arm to stay in place. And the thick glue is viscous. Therefore, it's not necessarily more sticky, but it holds that limb in place for a few seconds. Unless it's this one. There we go. Except this one's not. It's making me out to be a liar, but there you go. There we go. If I just used the extra thin glue there, it wouldn't have stuck in place. It would have fallen off. I'm going to give that a second. Now you can see there's a big seam line around the arm. We can fix that. We can fix that. Leptidium wasn't a dinosaur, it was an early mammal. Oh, okay. That's cool. That's also cool. Not as cool as dinosaurs, though. I mean, let's be honest. Early mammals, because I've done the mathematical equation, and we all know the equation. Dinosaurs greater than sign everything. It's just a fact. Right, so I'm going to do a bit of squish. I've got extra thin in the arm. I'm going to squish it and let the glue splooge out for a second. Blow on it. And that will stay there. Now it's a raised blob of glue. But if I give it a few seconds, we'll come back to it. Yes, it's a raised blob of glue, but I can sand it back now. You don't always need to use filler. This is the thing I try to say to people. Filler, some people use filler all the time, and it's fine. But you don't always need to. Sometimes you can use the fact that your cement or your glue melts the plastic to your advantage. Save yourself a lot of work. Now it's still kind of obvious, but hopefully when it's dried and got a little bit of sanding, it'll look more like just a natural fold in the skin and not an actual panel line or seam line, whatever you want to call it. Zazta says, I used to love fossil hunting on various beaches. When I was much younger, we used to go to a caravan site in the lakes. And we used to, in a place called Bardsea. Ted knows where it is. Bardsea Leisure Park in Ulverston. And we used to go on to Bardsea Beach, which is on the other side of Morecambe Bay. And there's nothing really spectacular. It's a very small beach. It's not, not a very big beach or anything, but it's got like a little sort of 5 or 6 foot high. It's not even a beach. It's just like the grass stops and you've got this wall of soil and tree roots and stuff. More like a normal grassy soil embankment. But if you work into that and you dig around, you can pick up little fossils that have just been left in the soil. And I got, it's mostly It's mostly crinoids. Really, like, that's Precambrian or Cambrian era type stuff. Crinoids and corals. So I had a little collection years ago. I had a little collection of crinoids and corals, and I had my favourite one. The favourite one I had was, it was a flat rock, and I think I got it from St David's in Wales. It was a flat rock about this big, and it just had this like weird texture to it, and it was like a mudstone, and it had this kind of like weird, like veins on the back of your hand if they all stood out. You know, like when you've been exercising and you got loads of like sticky out, like that. Really, and what it was. At first, I didn't know what it was, but I did a little bit of looking into it and spoke to my geology teacher because I was at school at the time. And it turned out they were fossilized worm tubes. It was the little tubes that worms had burrowed into the soil, into the sand, and then it fossilized and left negative imprints. So these little raised veins were actually the casts of worm tubes. It was great. I was like, wow, that was my favourite fossil ever, that. I love that fossil. I think as I got old, I think all my fossils ended up just in the garden. So at some point in millions of years in the future, there'll be somebody digging up and they'll find our garden and they'll find these weird like fossils of like crinoids and like Precambrian crinoids and Cretaceous worm casts and all weird corals and stuff. And it'd be like, what? Why have you got like Cambrian this and Jurassic that? And yeah. Now these legs are going to be challenging. I also like Deinonychus because it's a giant duck with a hump. Yeah. Don't give a duck a hump. The hump. Now this is going to be tricky because this is an obvious gap between two parts here. No matter how much I try and fill this in, it's an obvious thing that I've filled in. It's not, you can't really get away from it. But if I try to sprue go it, I'm going to lose that skin texture instantly. I don't really know what I'm going to do with the legs, the back legs. I just have to accept the visible line gap. I can't really squeeze it in and squish it out because there's nothing to squidge out. The way the joint works, there's nothing for me to squeeze out that will fill a gap. A bit of a shame, but it's fine. It's only a little tiny dinosaur. It's not the end of the world. It'll be fine. Also, there's a big ass gap right down there as well to note. All in all, not the best fit ever, Tamiya. Not your best work. But they're already little sort of like, these are more like little models for children, so it's not the end of the world. Another fun one is the Magyarosaurus, a teeny tiny sauropod that the result of island dwarfism. That sounds adorable. Was it like the size of a cat? We had a housefly in the kitchen today that was the size of a cat, and it was like, what the f? Get out! Right, that's as much squeezing I can do on that, and it's not going to fill. It's not the end of the world. They're only little fun. They're only little fun models. Have you heard about the Crystal Palace dinosaur models? Yeah, one of the noses on one of them, the iguanodon. I think it was the iguanodon. Was it the iguanodon? Might not have been. Has been damaged. Have they said if it's vandalism or just the wind? Because there was a lot of heavy winds. Have they decided if it was vandalism or is it just the heavy wind that's blown the nose off? Because it was damage that was where there was already a crack in the muzzle. It's the big, if you don't know what these are, the big Victorian era concrete dinosaurs when they didn't know what dinosaurs looked like really, and they kind of guessed. Put some armour over the top of the leg. Exactly. Straps, armour, webbing. That's what we're going to do. They're not dinosaurs, but pterosaurs were also pretty impressive, especially when you get to Quetzalcoatlus, Hatzgopteryx, and Arambogiana. You're just giving me names to try and trip me up now. Yeah, the pterosaurs were fantastic. You can't imagine those things even existing. And when you go under the waves, the big monster Leopleurodon. Dinosaurs are awesome. There's just no way around it. No matter how you could spend your entire life trying to come up with things to convince me that something that is better than dinosaurs. And you know what? You would all fail. Forever. Would never ever succeed. Because no matter what you presented to me, it would not be better than dinosaurs. I think they said it was vandalism, says Weebadoodles. Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising. There are some real morons out there. It does seem sad that right at the moment the world does seem to have caught a massive dose of the stupid. And the mouth-breathing simpletons are just seeming to suddenly come out of the woodwork and take over at the minute, and it's driving me crazy. I get depressed about it. It's just like, I don't know. The stupids are out in force. Do. Anything better than fossil dinosaurs is birds, because they're dinosaurs you can hold. I don't know if I want to try and hold the magpie. That might not end well. Yeah, birds are the only thing, the closest we've got to dinosaurs. Well, they are dinosaurs, let's be honest. They're obviously dinosaurs, but yeah. Birds by default are cool because they are dinosaurs. That one filled in a bit better. For such tiny little simple models, there's actually quite a lot of work involved in these. Who knew? Who knew? Do. Yes, I think at some point in the future we'll have to do some customizings to these. They need weapon systems and straps and things. And obviously I need to make them up, give them bases and mounts. Now, is he actually going to stand up by himself? Strange. Oddly enough, it does. Sort of. It's resting on one. It's kind of resting on one on his front paw or front foot, but he does stand up. I'll give him that. It still could have done with a stand. Swigging pigs off. Thanks for coming in, Swigging. Take care, buddy. Natural History Museum is an amazing building, just the right mix of ancient cathedral and Victorian. I've never been to the Natural History Museum. I've been to London like twice in my life. I don't really have any great desire to ever go there again because it's London and no. But yeah, Natural History Museum. I would like to go there at some point. Never been there. I think I still have a bit of sanding to do on him and clean up, but I'm going to leave him for now. So we've got our crocodile done, who needs some serious cleanup on his neck. He's got that big gap there that needs cleaning up somehow. But you know what? We just put a strap around his thing. We'll do something. But there we go. We've got a Parasaurolophus. It's a baby one. Remember, it's an infant, remember? Maybe he's stumbling a bit because he's doing his Bambi walk. We'll think of something. I don't know how I'm going to make armour to go around these. My plastic card skills are severely limited. Weebadoodle says, I miss my cockatiels. And YouTube decided that was a rude word and tried to censor it. Oh, YouTube. Don't ever change. Apart from, do. The damage was along cracks in the statue, but the police are looking at it as a heritage crime. Yeah, vandalism. Lynn Dipple says, I own a dinosaur. Sweetie's a Quaker parrot. Yeah, you've got a dinosaur in a cage. You've got a house dinosaur. That's what you've got. Do we want to even try? Tell you what we'll do. I don't think I'll have time to do a big one, but we can do the Archaeopteryx because that's two-part and it's a bird. We can get an Archaeopteryx. We'll do an Archaeopteryx. We've got a little while to go yet. I don't want to go on too late because I'm really, really tired because some of us had to wake up at silly o'clock when all the industrial equipment came to life. God damn it. All things to do on a bank holiday. We'll get the Archaeopteryx done. Now, if you remember, Archaeopteryx, baby Parasaurolophus has been bitten by the croc. Maybe the croc can't quite get to his tail. He's like, no, oh, come back. Oh, he's dead. It's too late now. It's feeding time. It's just carnage. It's just life and death on the desk. Where are we? Does Archaeopteryx actually get a base? Yes, he does. A1. A1. Hey, you idiot. Look at the letter on the top. There we go. A1. So they all get nice sort of like bits of rock and mud, apart from Archaeopteryx, who gets a base, an actual display base. How very civilized. How very civilized. So we'll get Archaeopteryx done. Yes, Archaeopteryx was the first evidence we ever found of feathers in the prehistoric age. I think it was the first one. It's basically a small feathered dinosaur. It is assumed that it flew. Obviously, we don't know for sure. We assume they are flight feathers, but there's no absolute proof of that. It's just as likely it could have been just a tree climbing dinosaur that happened to have feathers and maybe glided from the tree canopies. Or it could have been a fully flying avian dinosaur. We don't know, I suppose. Oh, let's do our learning fact. It says here, the Archaeopteryx is often described as a bird-like creature that evolved from an earlier dinosaur. It has been found in the Jurassic rocks of the European continent. Each wing had claw-like fingers. There you go. Except they managed to make theirs just like a bird. The detail on the head is decidedly not very detailed. Don't know how you're going to paint the head on that. That might be a bit limiting, that one. There we go. Little bit of, now this is like the ICM kit of all the pigeons. It's got a separate stick-on legs. See if we can get the nippers in here to cut these out without damaging the legs. If I damage the legs, we're just kind of screwed now. There we go. There we go. I know Beasts of the Mesozoic has been releasing dinosaur models for Dromaeosaurus, Ceratopsians, and now they're doing Tyrannosaurs. Cool. Is that what's Beasts of the Mesozoic? Is that a model making company? Is that a company that makes the models, or is that arranged by somebody or other, like Tamiya or Ravel or someone? Or is that the actual company, Beasts of the Mesozoic? I mean, just go and look up, just Google Beasts of the Mesozoic, I suppose is the answer there, isn't it? Right, we'll clean these legs off carefully. Can't afford to ruin these because otherwise it's not got any legs. Archaeopteryx was classed as the first feathered dinosaur, but now every dino is supposed to have hairs or feathers. Spoils my childhood. I don't know. I think the idea of T-Rex with feathers is fantastic. I like the idea. See, we think we know so much, and we've got all these images of all these like lizard-like cold bare-skinned dinosaurs and stuff. And when you look at artwork depicting dinosaurs, they're always brown or green, and it's like boring. I like the idea that perhaps dinosaurs were covered in feathers. Maybe not completely covered, but some of them had like ornamental crest feathers on their crests or their chests or that kind of stuff. And I like the idea that perhaps, how do we know they weren't all these like beautiful bright colours? Can you imagine a T-Rex but coloured like a bird of paradise? That would be awesome. Especially if T-Rex was a scavenger and not a predator like is now thought. I know Jack Horner is one of the proponents of the idea that T-Rex was actually more of just a scavenger than a natural predator, because he wasn't really designed for, you know, the running and the chasing and the running and the glaving. So can you imagine just how awesome it would be if T-Rex was this like beautifully plumaged, all neon colours? Oh, that'd be just outrageous. It'd be beautiful, that would. Also, now because the T-Rex or large Tyrannosaurs might not have had feathers. It's a small company. They're not model kits per se, but fairly accurate cartoon figurine type things. They have ones you can paint and build yourself. Okay, cool. Okay, so they now think that perhaps T-Rex didn't have feathers. It was just the smaller raptors, perhaps. See, the difficulty is that, you know, they're going off a small, tiny number of fossils. And feathers aren't naturally well preserved, so to find any of them is a miracle. But the thing you have to keep in mind, and this is what makes me laugh, is, you know, we think of the dinosaurs we know about, and we think we have this handle on life and what was going on. But at the end of the day, the percentage of things that actually fossilization is actually very rare. The odds of something being fossilized are so astronomically small that we might not even know 0.1% of anything that lived in those times. You know, we know of maybe, what is it, maybe 100, 150 different species of thing that lived across the 300 million years of the, you know, the Precambrian and onwards and stuff like that. Yeah. But we might be missing out on thousands and thousands of species. It's a bit like, you know, if you found fossils from now and you thought, you know, you found an elephant and you found a lion and you might have found a cat or a dog or a human, or you might have found a snake fossil or a bird or something, and you'd have a handful of species, but there's millions of them. We don't really know what was going on back then. We have little ideas, and it's fun to posit. But you see these paintings of, like, you know, herds of hadrosaurs going across the plains with, you know, this, that, and the other in the background, and sometimes it's like, hang on, they lived tens of millions of years apart. But in reality, there could have been so many other things that we just don't know about, and we will never know about. I think it's brilliant. I think it's fascinating. I think that feathers evolved perhaps as nothing to do with flight at all, and yet 65 million years later, all the dinosaurs, save for one or two, absolutely feathers is the main thing of their existence because they're all birds. Apart from, you know, like crocodiles and alligators, because they obviously never had feathers. I've still got this image though. Imagine T-Rex with bright plumage. Imagine if these things were just all brightly coloured. It'd be just beautiful. Be fabulous, darling, fabulous. You have things like Therizinosaurs and Gigantoraptor, a giant oviraptorosaur that were almost certainly feathered, and even Velociraptor, which doesn't preserve any feathers directly, does preserve the quill knobs in its ulna that you see in modern birds. Yeah, it's not necessarily the feathers that were preserved, but the evidence that were feathers attached to the skin sometimes is the evidence. But, you know, I mean, it makes sense that we looked at dinosaurs and we looked at what we could see in our own world, which was lizards, and made the connection that they were just giant lizards. Dinosaur means terrible lizard. But in reality, of course, we have no idea. It's like in a million years' time when people dig up fossils of humans, because there will be some. They won't know about clothes. They won't know what colour our skin was. They won't necessarily know we had hair. They'll just have the bones. If they're very lucky, they might have a hint of skin or organs, but most part it'll just be bones. And what would they make? What would they reconstruct a human skeleton to look like? Thing, you see? Don't really know, do you? Right, yeah, the head on this Archaeopteryx is a bit I don't know how I'm going to paint that, because it's a bit like the deck gun on the Revell 172nd U-boat. It's just like an amorphous blob. I can kind of see where the mouth is. It might look better with primer on it once the primer goes on. When in town, the pants come down. Get the legs glued on, which seem to just hang somehow. Let us glue on the legs. Probably should. Oh, I was debating whether I should glue the legs onto the base first, but yeah, glue the legs on the right way around, Fox. Don't do his legs on backwards. That would just look dumb. Yeah, not the most beautiful of joints there. I don't think this is Tamiya's finest work. I don't think perhaps they put the same effort into these, which are kind of designed for kids, really. I don't think they put the same effort into these as they did, say, their military miniatures range, which are designed for serious model makers. Yeah. But a bit of a gappy joint there, but by wiggling it around and getting the glue to squidge out, again, we managed to fill most of that gap. Remember, folks, it's not always a case of having to use thinners. Especially if you use a welding cement like Tamiya Extra Thin, or any of the similar glues that you can find here and there. Sometimes it's just a case of getting the plastic squidgy and letting it fill itself. There you go. So there's now, I've glued that on. There was actually a gap between the legs, had a little bit, it was like the legs were attached to a small part of the underbelly, and that slotted in, but there's a big gap around it. But now by squidging it a bit, all the glues fill that gap, and once that's primed, you'll never know. I'm going to leave it for a minute to set before I glue it to the base. Fun fact, dinosaurs are actually crocodile cousins. So are pterosaurs. The closest living relatives to birds, therefore, are crocodiles. Cool. It's almost like Tamiya bought the molds of this as part of a deal. Yeah, no, I mean, these kind of kits, they're aimed at the younger build. They're aimed at kids. They're not really aimed at the serious, because I mean, serious adult modelers, they're not going to build little dinosaurs anyway. They're going to build your World War II military vehicles and your aircraft and stuff. These are kind of aimed at the kids, really. So it kind of makes sense that they didn't quite put the same amount of effort into these as they do to their Jeeps and, you know, tanks and that and things. Can we do any more cleanup on this chap while he's drying? Maybe a little bit. A little bit. What we're doing. Hey, Nim's in. Welcome, Nim. I think what else we could talk about. What's been going on anyway? Nothing to report at my end of the world. Hoping to get some more of the Falcon done this week. Some more of the Millennium Falcon. I need to get that done ASAP. A, because it's an E-Models build and we're waiting for 2 years. But also because I've got so much in the pipeline that I need to do. There is a series, as soon as I've finished that, the Falcon, there's a build I want to do, there's a video series I want to do. I'm starting a new video series. Can't remember, I think I've announced it to patrons. I've done a little teaser video for patrons, but I don't know if I've announced it to everywhere else. But basically, I'm going to start a new series called Tabletop Trauma Center. That's all I'm going to say. Patrons know what it is because they've seen a little teaser video. I can carve a little detail back into his chin. He's got these little sort of wrinkles in the base of his jaw, but there's the big seam line down the middle, and I can't really get rid of it because if I try and carve it away, it's such thin plastic on that bit. If I try and carve it away, I actually start getting rid of the plastic, and you just get the hole between the two parts, and it's like, oh yeah. I can carve it really gently, but I don't want to go too far. Gone too far! Parasaurolophus, dibba dibba. It looks like a pigeon with fat duck legs to me. What this? Yeah. The legs look quite good because the legs actually look like, you can't really see it on camera here because it's too small, but the legs look like, I don't know, something off like a stylized human. It's really weird. They don't look like bird legs at all. It would probably taste nice with veggies, says Zadster. Yeah. Do anything with this face detail. Probably not. Maybe. I'm thinking if I can kind of get the little creased pattern, at least going across the middle bit, it won't get rid of it, but it might disguise it a little bit. But then again, I'm carving a groove, a fine groove, but it's just... Really, I need something less... I'm making a panel line where it needs to be a little sort of curved recess. I've not really got the tools for that. I think it'll be fine like he is. It's only a little fun build. I think we'll live. And I can put something around his head anyway. And it looks to me... The best bit is... He's kind of got ears. They've kind of... I know it's probably just ear holes. And you can't see it. But they've sculpted in little... Looks like little ears behind his head. I do like his smiley mouth though. He gets 10 points for that. His smiley mouth. He really has got a Jar Jar mouth. How rude! He's not even finished building them and he's cutting his throat almost. Yeah. I'm making adjustments. So we'll get the Archaeopteryx on its base. Oops. Right, which is the top. How is this going to stand by itself, or we have to just fart about with kajiggling? Hang on. It kind of looks like it stands like it's... That's weird. It's not rising up in the air. It's just kind of standing like it's falling over. It's kind of weird. It's not leaning back. It's just kind of falling forwards. It's a very strange pose. Have I got them legs the right way around? I don't... Yes, I have. It kind of doesn't... That's not the way I was hoping it would stand, to be perfectly honest. Let's see if we can bend it back a bit. Now it's a chance to set. It's kind of just leaning forward. It's not up like that. It's kind of just like that. It's flat and horizontal. Which is a bit weird. I'm thinking I've done something wrong there. It's entirely possible I've done something wrong. But as far as I can tell, the legs are on the right around, so... Oh. It is leaning forward. Very, very strange. I shall glue it as it stands. Although I suppose what I could do, I could always build up some terrain so it's at an angle on the terrain, then it'd look a bit better. So if I build like a little pebble on the base, I might do that. Then I might have to put something on the base it's landing, because it's gonna stand like it's falling forwards, which is it's like the wrong way around. It should be raised up like it's landing. Very strange, very weird. Very weird. I might leave that, and I think what I'll do is maybe I'll do one of them creative things where you put like a little bit of rock and it's landing on the rock, but the rock just happens to be at 45 degrees, so it's actually rearing up rather than leaning forward. I'll do that. I'll get a little bit of it's only a little tiny base, but I'll get a little bit of rock super glued to the base now. Right, well I think we'll leave it there, because we've been going for 2 hours now. Got those two done. My Parasaurolophus and my Crocodile. Not a dinosaur. It is a dinosaur. I've got my Archaeopteryx almost done. I'll get a little bit of rock on there and get him angled. I don't know if I'll come back and do more of these on a live stream. It was just a bit of fun tonight because we're not doing an E-model show, so a bit of fun. I might just get these done, finished off camera. I don't know if I'll have time for another live stream this week. Glue it onto the head of a big dinosaur. How about I glue it onto the head of the crocodile like it's landing on the crocodile's nose? That'd be fun. In fact, that would actually be awesome. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to glue it on. Yeah, I'm going to glue it on to the nose. It's a brilliant idea. You guys are geniuses. I'm gluing it on to the nose. Although then again, having said that, what pose is the T-Rex in? Let's have a look, because it might be, you know, like your famous photograph, like the dog with the butterfly on its nose. if the T-Rex is standing like forward like that, what if I glued it onto the nose of the T-Rex? No, it doesn't look quite as good. Nah, it looks better on the crocodile, because the crocodile's got his mouth open like you can see it. There we go. Let's get this done. Let's get this shizzle done. Glue it on the back. Now, see, we've got the same problem. It needs to be at a 45-degree angle so it's not leaning forward. I think the face for the crocodile is the best option here. I was sitting there saying, should I do that? And I'm thinking, why am I taking it seriously? It's a silly fun thing. Let's just glue it on the nose of the crocodile. Let me put my space helmet back on. I can't see. Hang on. You guys are the best. Have I told you that you guys are actually the best? Assuming I can get him to fit somehow and stay on. I've got to hold him in place for a bit. I don't know if he'll stick very well. Kind of. I've got to be really careful with him. This is brilliant. You guys are geniuses. I told you that, didn't I? Get some goodly glue on there. Yeah. If Fox is going to make dinosaurs, I'm going to make dumb dinosaurs. I'm not going to make serious shizzle. But you know what? You know what? I know in the comments somebody will say, I think you'll find that actually the Archaeopteryx did not live in the same parts of the world as the crocodilians and other similar large animals. And I'll be like, shut up. Banned. There you go. We've now got, I'll see if I can zoom in a bit. Oh, this is G. Oh, we already zoomed in, never mind. We now have, I know it's going to be out of focus, but we now have the crocodile with the Archaeopteryx. Kind of, you can imagine it flapping its wings and sort of half landing, and it's going to sort of maybe try and take off or land. Crocodile's snapped its mouth open, and the bird's like, way! That is just genius. That is just absolute genius. Whose idea was that? That was Zadster, wasn't it? Guy, you genius. That works surprisingly well, says Zadster. That looks good. Let's get the focus on it. Hang on. Where are we? Hold up to where's the camera? There's the camera. Focus gone. I know it's not going to be in focus again, but so it's almost like he's opening his mouth, and it was probably set on its mouth, and now it's having to flap its wings and adjust and eventually take off. So you've got it in this freeze frame of, it's like, hey! And the crocodile's like, well, you get off my face! Get off my face, you little... Oh! Awesome. Let me put the focus back down again. There we go. That's it. That was a moment of pure genius. 10 XP. I could see the image of the person that fits that voice. FML, I'm dying. Which voice? Oh, get off my head. With that one, you mean? It gives it a properly dynamic pose. It does, doesn't it? Because it means the crocodile's reacting to it. That's great. That's like one of them comedy wildlife photograph of the year type photographs. Genius. Absolute genius. That stand can just be thrown away now. You're going to have fun painting that, says Ian Thompson. Yeah. Green, and I'm going to make the Archaeopteryx all different colours. Well, the thing is, the detail's a bit shallow, though, so... so the bird is a dentist, and they're checking the croc's teeth. The combo tells a great story. Croc looks really annoyed. You're welcome. That is genius. That's a tiny little model, and yet it's got so much more personality than many other things I've made. That is genius. I'll take a photograph and put it in the boom hut later, but that's just spamtacular, that is. And we've done our Parasaurolophus. Yeah, I might not get a chance to stream anymore during the week, so I'll probably just get these built. And then in the future, what I'll do is I'll probably... I mean, if I can do another live stream, I'll keep them to one side. If I can do another one, I will. Because I've only got the T-Rex. We've got the... I mean, the other two are like literally glue the legs on and one arm. And then there's a T-Rex. So we might do another. If I can do another stream, I'll get them 3 built as well. And then later on, I'll do at some point, I'll do a filming video. We'll get them filmed. That is genius. That is just absolute genius. We'll get them filmed up and painted up and filmed. Phil Lewis says, I spent most of the stream listening whilst resculpting the mouth of the Parasaurolophus, so now it's open and has a mouth interior. Are you just vastly superior to me then in the model making? Because I'm not even going to fill in the gap around the leg there. How do you even open the mouth on that? I don't even, sculpting is just something I don't understand. I just make the model and then that's it. That's beyond me. I don't know how you do that. I have no concept. But I'm really not proud of this now. Because yeah, I've just resculpted his entire face and I'm like, I've left a big gap there. I've just put that to this. We won't talk. I've stuck in the bird on his face. That, yeah. Yeah, you just put me to shame now. Never mind. Oh, it's the big one I have. Oh, thank God for that. Bill Lewis says it's the big one he's got. I thought you were talking about this. You're one of these. And I'm like, you've just resculpted that face. This is just garbage compared. I was like, this is just, I'm going to throw it away now. Raging Modeler says, I'm going to buy the Tamiya T-Rex, or would you prefer the Ravel one? No, don't buy me anything, buddy. I don't need more kits. Trust me. I haven't got anywhere to put more kits. Thank you very much for the offer, but I don't need more kits. I just haven't got the space for lots of more kits. Especially big ones, but thank you anyway. Yeah, no, don't buy me more. Don't buy me either of those. That makes a croc a lot more appealing in the set. Very nice. Yeah, I think that's brilliant. That's a genius idea, and I never would have thought of that. Because you get 10 points for that. Anyway, I think, let me just double check my buttons are still working. Miraculously they are. I think we're going to call it there. What I will do is, say, if I get a chance... sorry, folks, you've already one on the way. Oh, well, not to worry. If it's already on the way, I'll accept it gracefully. Thank you very much. I don't know what you mean, one of what. I shall wait and see what turns up. Yes, I'll see if I can do another stream this week with them. But obviously, I'm going to try and crack on with the Falcons. I've got to get that done. I want to get that done. I've got Tabletop Trauma Centre to film, and I've got all my other stuff I need to build. I need to stop building stuff. Like I said before, I do this for my job, and although right now I can't build stuff and sell it, this is one of the ways I make money. I build a model and sell it. I can't do that right now because I can't leave the house, and I can't until there's a vaccine. I won't be able to leave this house at all. So I'm hoping just to get a load of stuff built and painted up and filmed, and then when I can get mobile and leave the house again, of course, I can just put them all up for sale and get them on eBay or whatever. So I need to get back onto that. I've had 12 months of not getting much done, struggling, so this is back to the grindstone now. So I'll see if I can. But I do need to crack on with that Falcon. Don't forget, of course, on Thursday, Chris's Thursday night stream. And I'm sure throughout the course of the week, Chris will be doing more video gamey stuff and his wooden stuff. And Dad will probably do some more streams as well. So, and I know some of the other, well, some others of you have got streams going on through the week. I can't remember who's doing what when, though. I don't remember my own stuff. Never mind everybody else's stuff. But do make sure you subscribe to people in my chat. Let's have a look. I'm trying to think. My brain has actually stopped now because I really have been half asleep all day. You know when your brain just stops? I can't think of the words I was going to use. I'll put them that way so you can see them, because you can't really see them from there, can you? It's just genius. That is absolute genius. I'm so happy with that. That is just the best thing ever. It's great. I wish I'd come up with that. I always have the best idea. You guys always have my best ideas. Right. So, yeah, anyway. Yes, thank you very much. There are shows all throughout the week, so make sure you follow in, subscribe to my channel and Dad's channel and Chris's channel and all the other channels out there, and Phil and Beyond Hope and everybody. Follow everybody's channel. Make sure you're subscribed. And whenever you subscribe to a channel, select the notification bell and select all. YouTube's a bit broken. But it doesn't always send out, when somebody starts a live stream, it doesn't always send out a notification. But if you are subscribed and you've hit the all button, then it should tell you. It might not send you a thing saying ping X is streaming, but if you didn't know this, whenever you come on to, every day you go and check your emails and you check your BBC website, whenever you check your news website and things, make a habit of checking your YouTube subscriptions tab. The menu down the side, it says subscriptions. Click on that if you don't already. That's all the channels you've subscribed to, and it gives you a list each day of all the new videos or content from each of the channels. So I go in the morning and I've got like 6 or 7 videos. I might have a new video from Kirioth TV. I might have a video from Voices of History. I might have a video from Kurzgesagt. I might have Dad's new live stream coming up in 6 hours. I might have Chris's new whatever build. And I'll have 7 or 8 videos from all the channels I've subscribed to. And I know each day that I've not missed them. And if you are somebody who's doing live streams, this is one of the reasons I always say to people, don't pimp your live stream like a week in advance. Because today, I will look at what I've got lined up for today. Tomorrow, that will have dropped down. I'll have the next day's stuff. The day after that, it'll have dropped down off the bottom of my screen. So if you're doing a live stream and you're saying, I'm going to do a live stream in 3 days, 3 days from now, it's not going to be on my subscription feed page. This is why I always do my live streams on the day. I post them up and say, here it is. And that's why I've created them in advance. Because you want to make sure people don't forget. So if you're doing live streams, I know a few of you out there are starting to do live streams. Don't create the live stream 3 or 4 days in advance. Because by the time it comes to the day, most people will have forgotten it. Always just create the live stream in YouTube on the day. That way it's fresh. Yeah, go and check out all the channels. So like, subscribe. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description below this video, of course, for emodels.co.uk for all your traditional model making needs, and of course goblingaming.co.uk for your tabletop gaming needs and tabletop model making needs. And of course all my Amazon stores, go and check those out for all the stuff you need. As always, if there's stuff you need that's not in my Amazon store, give me a shout. I can add it if you're in the UK or the US. And of course, don't forget, if you want to support me directly at this channel, patreon.com/model making guru. Thank you to my patrons. Thank you to everyone who's super chatted tonight. You've all been brilliant. Thank you massively for that. They're very, very kind of you giving up your money, especially right now when everybody's just on fire. Anybody giving up even $1 is a massive amount to me. So to all of you, thank you massively for that. I shall leave you and say good night all. Take care of yourselves. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. Wash your damn hands. Yes, you there. And I'm looking at you. You there. I know you know who you are. You know who you are. Wash your damn hands. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome, and I'll probably see you soon. But until next time. Oh, Millennium Falcon video. It came out of early access today. Go and watch it now. Take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Adios, amoebas.